18th of January, second Raw on Netflix, and I quite enjoyed this show, I won't lie. And obviously we have the debut of new superstar Penta, Cera Miedo, obviously iconic luchador. We'll come to his match with Gable in a minute, which, spoiler, as I predicted, absolute banger. But we started off with CM Punk driving in. Really, that was the first shot here, is driving into the parking garage, or garage, whatever you want to call it. And out he comes, all the way down to the. I mean, he's yeeting in his entrance. He's on the announcer desk. You know, goes into the ring, and he basically starts talking about how Punk's in the past, Rollins is in the past. I'm done with him. He also goes and taunts John Cena again, which, if you know anything, long-term storytelling is the new era of WWE. And he's mentioned Cena multiple times. And hey, I have no issues seeing those two guys go at it again. And I said something to a friend. I said, I really enjoy Punk. Obviously, I grew up before Punk, he was even in WWE, but I enjoyed him through his time in WWE before he obviously left. My thing with Punk is they keep putting him over all of the guys who have been at WWE for ages. This is one guy that I would not have him beat. If him and Cena have another match, Cena has to win that match. Cena is Mr. WWE. Punk is not really Mr. WWE. So, even though this is Cena's last year, go Super Cena mode. There's not many sort of characters in WWE history that could beat Super Cena. Have him go Super Cena for the year, let him just destroy so many people, but have him beat Punk, that's for sure. But he announces himself as a contestant in the Royal Rumble. Rollins comes out, he's angry. He said, you know, he didn't take it seriously enough, you know. He announces himself in Royal Rumble. He said, I'm going to take your WrestleMania moment from you. And then Drew's music hits, which, you know me if you're a fan of the channel. I'm a Drew guy. Comes out. He's basically slagging both of them off, saying, you two are so caught up in your own little world, basically. You're forgetting that Roman, you're letting Roman get into power. And, you know, he keeps mentioning Roman. These two are going to have a match, no doubt, quite soon. Then it looks like they might have a brawl. And then Drew, again, just beautifully, starts heading down to the ring, and he just calls them both idiots. He said he'd not listened to a word I said. So, really good promo between the three of them. These guys, do you know what? WrestleMania, you three, have at it. I would love to see that match. I would love to see, even though Drew and Punk had their rivalry, you had Punk and Rollins. You obviously then have Rollins and Drew towards their last WrestleMania. Screw it. Throw them all in again for a match at WrestleMania. I am all for it. And then the first match of the night is Cera Miedo. Penta versus Chad Gable. Penta obviously winning this, shockingly. Great match. So many high impact spots. It was so good. And I said for ages, let these two guys just go at it. Now, apparently, it did run over a little bit than it should have done. They had to sort of trim the show from in other positions, which, you know, obviously is not going to go down too well. But for a debut match, it was great. His promo afterwards, by the way, go check it out. It's fantastic. But look, so many good spots in this match, you know. But the right thing happened. He won. You know, he hits a Mexican destroyer. Gable kicks out. And by the way, the camera angle for that Mexican destroyer was perfect as well. You know, the crowd was so into it. They were hot as anything for this match, which, perfect. For a new guy coming in who, maybe a lot of people don't know who Penta really is. I mean, he's got the look. His entrance is incredible, by the way. I'm so glad someone got ahead of Def Rebel over this and just went, right, let's not muck this one up. This guy has got the look. He's got the aura. Don't muck this up. Let's get this done properly. The fire behind him as he comes out, it was electric. I was so happy his entrance was good. You know, but then look, hits the Penta driver for the win. Brilliant. And then, yeah, the promo afterwards, fantastic. And hey, I'm all for it. And then there was a bit of a Judgment Day backstage promo ahead of Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Obviously, you can sort of see Liv and Dominic not looking too good right now. There's a bit of a ooh. Anyway, moving over. They then have Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser. These guys just put on bangers. I mean, Sheamus puts on banger after banger after banger, but Ludwig Kaiser, super underrated, I think. Great match again. These guys have a great chemistry together. Sheamus picking up the win. And all afterwards, Sheamus dapping up Pat McAfee. If you know, they went to Ireland for the day and just drank Guinness. And they did the Pat McAfee show from a pub, I believe. But then afterwards, Bron Breakker's in the front of the crowd. A little push and shove, a little bit of an argy-bargy. And, it was good stuff. They announced that Rollins will be facing Drew McIntyre next week, which can't wait. It wouldn't even shock me if Punk gets involved somehow. Wouldn't even shock me. And then he bumps into Sami Zayn. It's interesting. It's interesting. They sort of mentioned, are you going to continue helping Roman? He's got his Ulafala. Are you going to continue helping him? And I like all these seeds being planted. And then there was a Karrion Kross thing with Adam Pearce. Little chat about things going on. The White Six have been moved to SmackDown, which is an interesting move. I like it. It gets these guys separated. I have no issues with that. Interesting. It's just interesting. I just thought about it. And then I think Miz and Sami Zayn were going to have a match as well. Obafemi at ringside. Obafemi's at ringside. My guy, Obafemi. New champ, obviously, of NXT. And then you have Gunther and Jey Uso back and forth promo. Looks like that's going to be the next world title match, which I'm interesting. I'm not sure how their chemistry would truly work enough. Gunther is the complete opposite of Jey Uso. So maybe, they say opposites attract, so maybe this could be a banger. We shall see. Then you had the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. The new champion being crowned is Lyra Valkyria. Good match. I thought it would be Dakota. I did truly think it'd be Dakota, but it was a great match. It was a really, really great match. And do you know what? That suplex off the apron as well. I forgot about that. That was brutal. But a great match. And either way, both of those superstars, one of them, whoever it was, I was happy that they were going to win it. I think, you can make Lyra Valkyria a bit of a star. Dakota is obviously a well-respected superstar on that roster as well. I think it would just give Lyra a bit more of a push towards the top of the cards as well when it comes to the women's division. So, happy for that. Then you had Miz, Sami Zayn. Sami wins it. No one's shocked by that, are they? And then Rhea Ripley out there addressing her victory last week to pick up the women's title. Then you had Nia Jax coming out there. Don't really understand truly why. And then, she basically announces herself for the Royal Rumble. I'm sure she could have done that on SmackDown, but you know what I mean. And then Bayley was there because obviously this is Bayley's town. And then they'll have a bit of a scrap, left, right, and centre. But you know what I mean. We'll just move on from that segment. Not too bothered about it. And then you had a street fight between Damian Priest and Finn Balor, which was brutal. I mean, the stretcher where Priest runs down to the ring with a stretcher with Balor strapped into it. Well, he wasn't strapped into it. He undid the strap, but he was still on it. And as he pushed, it spun sideways, hit into the side of the ring, and then Balor rolled in. I don't think you could have done it any better than that. I was expecting him to do it. As he pushes it, it just tipped some reason, and Balor just to fall by the apron, but actually rolled into the ring. Obviously, shenanigans, Judgment Day getting involved. The War Raiders turned up to help, which, hey, I'm a War Raiders guy. Always good to see those boys. Obviously, didn't see him last week, so it was good to see him this week. And then, Damian Priest winning this match. I'm just kind of hopeful now that this is the end. For not only Damian, I think Damian to move into different feuds, but also for Finn Balor to move into different feuds. If they talk about this year, apparently Finn's going to get a big push. Well, I hope from this situation he does get that big push right at the end. But good show overall. Obviously, great to see. Obviously, Penta, which was, I'm really happy to see Penta. It was coming. It's finally here. Obviously, the Punk, Drew, Rollins trio aspect, I think it's going to be super fascinating. Obviously, a match next week between Drew and Rollins. I think it's going to be something contentious going on in there, sort of thing. But look, all of them being in the Royal Rumble, and can I just say, the men's Royal Rumble is stacking up to be an absolute star-studded Rumble. Much better than last year's Rumble was rubbish. This year's Rumble looks really promising. You know, Punk, Drew, Rollins, Roman, Cena. Wouldn't shock me if, you know, Solo and Jacob Fatu are in there. You know, what about other Russos? You know, there's so many big stars going into that Rumble. You know, Sheamus, Bron Breakker, Obafemi, Trick Williams, something like that. You know, I think this Rumble is shaping up to be an absolute banger, and I will be watching it because it'd be rude not to. But let me know your thoughts down below on Raw January 13th, and I'll see you all next week for Raw reviews. Take care. Peace.